Now that we have the Cyclops, it's time to get the Cyclops ready for the journey.
The journey.
The journey. We obviously are going to use it as a mobile base to get you down to the inactive lava zone at least. This requires us to get a few different things ready though. One, we need a depth module for the Cyclops. Two, we're going to need to set up a small recharging station down in the inactive lava zone. So you're going to need the stuff for a little base down there. Just a multi-purpose room, a hatch, and a, thermal generator.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
Simple things.
Little things. Little things. So, with all of this stuff we had to get, depth modules, efficiency mods, and the general things that we needed to build some of the stuff we wanted to have down there. Bring in some food, getting a couple of the lantern fruits trees onto the Cyclops as well. Really one of the first times you had to run to multiple different specific areas for things that weren't due to natural exploration. First time we went out to the island, yes, it was a necessity run, but it's also experiencing the island for the first time. First time we got to this place, yes, it was experiencing this, but it was also getting these. So this is the first time you really had to traverse the entire map that you've learned so far for your resources. Talk to me about that. You've got multiple ways to do it now. How does it feel now that you've got this much under your belt to go out and explore compared to the beginning here? Just check in with you.
I mean, okay, to explore, it was a little tedious, but I mean, for the grand scheme of things and knowing what task is ahead, it was a task I was willing to look forward to, in a sense. Going down to the Lost River, how many times to actually get resources, going all over the place. Obviously, there's resources all over. But no, this was definitely a very tedious task to most, but I was excited because, again, I felt the gravity of what we were doing next, so I knew it was important.
I get that. I do appreciate the payoff that comes with it too. You're right. The thing coming next here is worth having to go to, the individual locations for out to Daddy Longlegs for Shell to get some more diamond, or having to go back to Jelly Shroom to get more magnetite, ruby, things like that. At least knowing where to go get it was cool. And you're right, knowing that what you're about to do next feels as big as it does is great. So you set your Cyclops up as your base. We got Big Mama ready. Hector's in there. We got plants. We got the Gidgets, or Gazmos. Keep Gidgets and Gazmos. That was great. And everything's set up. Modification station in there too. And now it's time to go on the journey. Phumpy, how was it taking Big Mama down to the Lost River?
Buddy, if anybody knows me, and you don't, I like to do things the hard way. This proves it really well.
And you did. You did do this the hard way.
Because obviously you were taking the giant submarine down into what I thought was only a one way, or not like one way, but there was only one way down. So this entire process of I feel like I was trying to put a square peg into a circle hole.
I mean, more of a giant rectangle into a tubular hole, yes.
This entire process of going down was infuriating. I said this during, after everything.
You also got super humped by a crab squid for a section of that, and we got to listen to your submarine scream that you were under attack. Creature warning.
That was my least my worries too. I was like, just don't put it in my hair.
I remember at one point too, we even went to go look for the health of the submarine, and we're like, oh, Big Mama's fine. Who cares?
Yeah, I was just worried about scraping the paint, you know?
That you did, sir. That you did. If anybody was trying to follow you down there, all they had to do is follow the purple and green.
No, it's funny, too, because, like, how many times, like, I get out of the submarine, look, no, I got enough room, crash. Fuck, alright, get out.
Yeah, at some point you abandoned the camera system altogether and just...
It just was not helping me. It
Which
wasn't...
is, I had the same problem. When you and I talked about doing this, that was part of the discussion we had was I had the same issue. This is why I didn't like the Cyclops in the first place. For the place you had to take it down, like, all of these other things are nimble in their own right. And then all of a sudden, you gave me the most cumbersome thing to go stick down the smallest hole.
Do you know what's probably funny? The developers are probably like, we could have gave him a 2-man submarine. Yeah, we could have just gave him a little, like, sea moth with a little extra storage and everything like that. Nope. Let's make this a little challenging.
Early on, there was other art that they had released, and yeah, it actually had different designs for the Cyclops. There is some out there, you can find it on YouTube land in different sources. I want to say it was Lost Bacon where I saw this video, but there were actually like 4 other models that they had out there for being the Cyclops. Then it was different shapes and different sizes a little bit. Like, it was still bigger than all the other ones, but they had different sizes and different models. This is the one they ended up choosing, though, at the end. And it's probably the one that looks the most like a standard submarine for this. So they did have other models. It might have been different, but this is what we had. So you finally get Big Mama through the opening. We're in the Lost River, and now you're fighting trees.
Because again, how many times do you see me go through this Lost River? I'm hugging that right wall all the way through. So it's the path I know. It's the path I like. And
it's the Phumpy way.
It ain't the submarine way, I'll tell you what.
It wasn't Big Mama's way. So we didn't build a chainsaw. Didn't find blueprints for that, so we couldn't cut the trees down. Phumpy had to go around. Take me through your next descent, because this is where it starts to get easier for you, I felt like.
Yeah.
But that first descent, you didn't pull out far enough either, and I remember you hitting half the way down.
So the controls, obviously, you can aim up or down, and then you go that way or whatever. Then you also have the bumpers that allow you to go up or down. And my struggle, even with the sea moth or whatever, if I'm facing down and going down, I want to hit the descend button, but that descends me the way my sea moth is facing. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that was the biggest struggle, where it's like, I can descend faster if I press both of these. Nope, not how that works. Oh, you want to hug the wall? I got you.
Well, and like we said, one of the other problems is it's not like you can get the Cyclops to point straight up or down, like face straight up or down that way very well. It doesn't do that for shit. Like, it's meant to like be just sitting in the water perpendicular and drop up and down. It doesn't let you like move its head down and wiggle through stuff very well.
But all in all, after that, not the final descent, but after the big waterfall, oh, it got so much easier. I mean, it's wide open area, left turn, you're there.
The big wide open spaces really helped, and that got us down to the inactive lava zone faster. And as soon as you get down to the inactive lava zone, you run into the thing that I'd hinted at a few times. I told you that it's mostly safe in this zone, but there is something you have to be on the lookout for. And you finally encounter it, and that are the energy suckers. You scan one. What's your thought on those guys? How did you feel about these? For me, I thought this was a really cool mechanic to have something that far down that is literally just trying to suck raw power.
Right, you're literally just there to fuck with you.
When you think about all the alien structures that we're about to go encounter, though, it makes sense that something like this would live down here, because there is a lot of power being generated by things yet.
Yeah, very true.
So in theory, that's what I would be expecting them to be going after and searching out. But, you know, as you enter the zone, it kind of is just like blood in the water, like, ooh, I sense electrical power over here.
Yeah, I suppose they're pretty far away, too, from any energy down there. They were starving to death.
Right. That's why they're so happy you're here.
But, I mean, like, I think I read what they were, and I was like, okay. And I didn't care about the Cyclops all that much. I think I more or less ignored them. I think I chopped 1 or 2 up because it was fun to me. I think we just ignored them for the time being.
Yeah, this is where, like we said, it was such a fight to get Big Mama down here. And now it's not overtly useful. I mean, we could take it into the next zone, but if you keep watching, you'll understand why that's not necessarily something you want to do. So we powered her down. We drop Hector out, and we pulled out the power cells to save whatever energy was in them. We can use them in Hector for longer expeditions, because that's kind of what we're going to be doing from down here. And so we set up your little base. You get your multi-purpose room set up, and you put on your hatch for it, and then we attach the thermo generator. So inside the little base, then, we build the modification station, a power cell charger, and a battery charger. And that's really all this station is for.
And a fabricator.
Your fabricator as well. Took that off the wall in there. You still have your lantern fruit in Big Mama for some food, some storage up in Big Mama as well. So you and I had talked beforehand that we were going to need to build this down here. How was it to see this actually come to life and understand it now?
In kind of the safe area of the lava zone, which is still uneasy. I didn't picture it as home. I definitely pictured it as a safety net.
A post or a waypoint?
Yeah, so, I mean, a home away from home, I wouldn't really classify it as that. It's more of a, need something? Come here. It's just nice to have that sense of security.
And I mean, you and I talked about this. We probably could have picked a little bit of a better spot and gotten better use of the thermo generator. Maybe we would have been smarter to use a nuclear one down there again. Whatever. This was really what was the quickest, easy, accessible way to do it. And so we just went this route. Relying a little bit on me on that one, where, like, these are the things I know can get you through and are the least amount of hassle.
Throughout this entire playthrough, I don't think we were doing things a typical person playing this game would do. Just for the fact, like, we didn't build half the stuff because it wasn't necessary. Like, we knew our mission. I knew what I wanted to see, and it definitely wasn't a full-blown base down in the lava zone. I mean, hey, second playthrough, we'll talk about that.
I mean, Phumpy Castle next to Lava Castle.
Phumpy Castle.
It's speaking of Lava Castle. Going to the active lava zone, bud. We're finally here. We're at that point. We take Hector. We got the kyanite. We have your depth module finally. A little bit more run and fetch on that. And now we're ready. We're ready to go. Active lava zone. Talk to me about getting into the active lava zone here.
Well, I think one of the funniest points in my opinion with this whole thing is we had Death Module 1 for the prawn suit. We needed 2. So I mean, with that we needed kyanite, and obviously we needed Hector for kyanite, and because finding the little shards were borderline impossible for where we were at the time.
Yeah. At this point, I was unaware that since the last time I had played, there had been an update. And kyanite is no longer available in the inactive lava zone. And one of the last playthroughs I did, that wasn't a thing yet. And that's kind of the beauty of Subnautica. This game has continued to evolve even after all this time.
Yeah, so we took Hector as far as you can go to farm the outcrop of the kyanite. Got what we needed. Cool. Now it's time to make MK2. So obviously, as you know, to upgrade your modules, you need to not have it in Hector. So we did what we needed to do, and we knew that Hector couldn't go below 900, so we went back up to the Tree of Life, or whatever the hell it is. Posted him up, took MK out, dove back down, and in the mix of back and forth and everything like that, there was a warper. So I was getting a little nervous. I'm not quite sure what compelled me to do it, but I got in Hector and I jumped without having
below 900,
without having MK1 in it.
Oh, stupid! Stupid! Stupid!
Matter. I think the only thing I said was stupid, 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 stupid.
So yeah, at this point, like, God, editor, get that in here.
Best reaction I've seen in
You,
a long
yeah, you do
time.
legit just start calling yourself stupid. I start laughing because, like, you reprimanded yourself. I watched you do this. It was hilarious.
It genuinely was funny. It was just like, and I caught myself pretty quickly. Like, it was just like,
You were still airborne. It hadn't even yelled at you yet when you realized that you had done it. Like,
it's the damn warpers, man. I swear to God.
they are your enemy, because when you got to the kyanite, the same thing. You went to go start drilling the kyanite, and a warper ripped you out of your suit. Like, warpers have been the bane of your existence on this playthrough so far. Like, you avoided reapers. You got warpers instead.
Can't avoid those fuckers.
So we got your kyanite now. We make that mod 2. Get it in Hector. We're good for 1,500 meters. Lava castle, sir.
It's time to go.
We get you back into the active lava zone. And you start to hear something while we're looking for the lava castle I've told you about. And I'm blown away because you are pretty much ignoring anything and everything you hear around you. So talk to me. Deep in the active lava zone here, looking for the lava castle. Is this just an overload? Or is this, I'm just going to stay focused and do stuff? What was happening to you here?
I don't recall if I knew about the big motherfucker. But all I know was there's warpers, there's lava lizards, there's a lot of things that can hurt me here, and I knew I had to get to the castle. So, again, same thing in past videos and everything. Point A to point B, man. I can't sit around, otherwise I'm fucked.
Gotcha.
And so all the noises or whatever, these are all new creatures to me, I mean, besides the warper, but... so I kind of more or less tuned them out and focused on the mission.
That's what I told you to stop tuning it out. And I asked you to just look around. You give me one of the fastest spin arounds ever. And I remember just chuckling and being like, okay, now actually look around. Like, I don't know what you thought you were doing, but like, do you hear that thing? Like, actually look around for me. We get your reaction. Let's unpack that a little bit here.
Holy shit!
Seeing the sea dragon, Leviathan, for the first time. Thoughts?
God. I was speechless at the time. I think I said, oh my God, and just stared at it. And it got really close. Because I remember...
for a while, I think you just kept repeating, it's so freaking big. Like, well, yeah. It's the second largest thing in the game.
In one of the alien bases, we scanned one of these things, right? Like the bones.
You scan a baby version of it in one of the eggs, yeah.
But same thing with the Cyclops or whatever. It's like, you know it's going to be big and everything like that, but when you see it, you're just like, fuck. But yeah, no, it's just, it was so fucking big, dude.
I jokingly tell you to go scan it. And to my utter surprise, you just, boom, out, stasis rifle.
Yes, sir.
You went hard at this, and pick up a random death for it. After rewatching, though, we realized it wasn't from the Sea Dragon, because we were confused by it too. You had caught it in the stasis rifle. All of a sudden, you take fire damage, and you die. That's it. And we're like, what the heck? On the rewatch, though, we realized that a lava lizard from behind you shot you with a fireball.
Which is, frankly, just annoying.
Which means when you reloaded back in, you had to go scan him again.
Which, luckily enough, I was already at like 80%, so
wasn't so bad. The thing you complained about the most while trying to do it was how fast he was.
Dude, I know we talked about like different speeds between like Sea Moth and Sea Glide and everything, but that Sea Glide ain't shit compared to that thing. Holy hell.
Which is where I'm going to bring up the statement of this. Now, imagine you're in the Sea Moth, which we keep saying has got to be somewhere comparable to a Sea Glide, right? Like, we're sure one's faster than the other, but not by much, right? This means if you're traveling in your Sea Moth and this thing saw you, him catching up to you is nothing.
Ooh, imagine taking
the Cyclops. You know what I mean?
Yeah, imagine taking the Cyclops down here. You'd be fucked.
So this is actually why I didn't have you do it, because on my first playthrough, I did. And I didn't see him. I entered the active lava zone and followed a wall. And so I had found this nice little pocket where I was confused as hell, didn't see the lava castle for quite some time. But I was in like one of the furthest tucked away corners of that spot and didn't see him at all. Then I finally traveled out in my prawn suit. I found the lava castle, and then I was like, oh, I'll just move my big thing closer, right? I'll grab my Cyclops. So I head back to the Cyclops, and that's when I see my Cyclops getting attacked by that thing. And I was immediately like, and no. Like, this is horrible.
Nice
like, well, I mean, I was able to fix it and save it and stuff, but this is why I told you to leave it in the inactive lava zone, because, like, if you take it forward, all you're doing is asking to have it attacked. And he will. He will. So, you know, we're over the shock of Sea Dragon here, and we finally see the lava castle. Talk to me about lava castle.
When we were first looking for it, you were saying, like, oh, look for the lava castle. I'm looking for, like, a typical castle, you know, with, like, the spires on the side and watchtowers and shit like that. No, it's just a giant mountain with a bunch of caverns and caves and everything like that. But no, then we see the little, like, alien pillars and everything like that, and I was like, got it. But going through it, we go in, and I think we decided to read about the dragon.
Yeah.
And this bitch ass lizard
who will affectionately forever be known as Bitch Lizard from this day forward.
He, like, I was in a little tiny hole. Nobody was gonna bother me, except for this dude. He kept on just looping around, keep pressing the issue. Do you know what I do with my prawn suit?
Bitch Lizard.
Tell him, Swiss. Tell him what I did.
Ground him right in the face. Every time it came by, he was all like, drill arm. All right, drill arm. Here's the drill arm.
He became canned tuna.
That's right, folks. Lava lizard in a can. Get yours today. Like and subscribe.
No, but I mean, we continued down, and obviously we get to the alien facility, and I still think I'm in the mindset of, like, point A to point B. So I was like, okay, we need to get in here because I still feel unsafe. Because I don't even think you told me, like, that we would be safe from the dragon. Who knew that maybe that guy had a way in? I didn't know.
Yeah, no. When we were in the catacombs, you did jump out because we saw individual kyanite.
Yes.
And you were like, cool. So I think you plucked a couple of that. I think you grabbed a lava lizard egg too. So when you were in the catacombs, you felt pretty safe knowing that, like, the lizards were the only thing that could come get you. But when it opened up into the cavern, yeah. Between the lava being owie and being able to hear the sea dragon still, you were pretty straight A to B. So we get inside the facility here, and we're able to scan a few things, learn a little bit more, and that's when we realized too that we need some tablets.
Unfortunate oversight.
Well, a blue tablet wasn't something that we were expecting to need, and the purple tablet was like, oh crap, I forgot about that for you. I should have told you to bring one down. On the upside, you had ion cubes with you, and there was a portal there, so we were able to take that portal. That portal led us back to the gun island. Give me some thoughts on all of a sudden, like, boom, portal back to here.
It was relieving that it wasn't somewhere new. Like, if it would have been completely somewhere that was not convenient, that would have. It was relieving that I was close to home again.
Familiar territory.
Yes.
Gotcha. So using this, you know, we head back to Pooh. We make our tablets, do a couple things, and then we get back here. We use the tablets, and this is where we get two things. One, we learn that this is a main power generation facility, and it teaches us about ion battery technology. And then it also tells us about a primary containment facility, being southwest.
No.
I think I'm gonna...
No, sorry, I remember getting upset about this. It said south by southeast.
And that's where I was just about to throw to you. So, still being upset about this, tell me about these directions, sir.
In the PDA, it said while leaving the castle, going south by southeast, you're going to be finding a specific, I think it's a cavern or something like that. So I said, cool. Leave out the door, of the castle, ignore the big-ass dragon in the sky, and start going south-southeast. Because that is what it told me to do. I hit this giant wall. I'm going through all these little crevices. It's like, oh, maybe there's like a little secret one. Like, why would they like promote that this is here? Not that anyone's coming down to the active lava zone, but regardless.
This is also where I tell Phumpy, I get lost doing this every time, and it makes sense because I never use a compass. So this southwest never helps me. Southwest, sure. Gonna jump out here, 360 no scope, and pick a direction. Continue, sir.
So after, we were going for a fucking solid minute here. We were going for at least 20 minutes. And I get frustrated because how many times I had to go back to the castle, southeast. Okay, there's nothing over here. Go back to the castle, southeast, because that's what it said to do. We ended up doing what we did previously, as any person would do. YouTube.
That's why we're here, folks. Like and subscribe.
But no, so the southeast from the castle, from the door, is a slight left. Watching the video, they take a solid fucking right.
Hard right.
Going past a skeleton remain, which I didn't scan. And then continuing on from there, and then you reach a giant pit with little corridors in it. Yeah, this is the pit that we passed previously. I was gonna bring my prawn suit down there. I wanted to go check the depth and everything. Then it just didn't seem necessary, so we didn't. And who knew it would be so goddamn necessary?
And it's funny because for me, because of where this is in the game and how many times I've played now, I go down there with everything I need, knowing what I'm about to do. So I only ever do this once. So no, this isn't something I've memorized because, like, I do it that one time of playthrough. Get frustrated with it every time because I can never find it. When I finally do, like, cool, awesome. I never remember where it's at. But I also never go back through here. So I was useless to you for the first time in this playthrough on this one. And even when you got down there, like, we finally get you down into the pit. I remember even joking to you then, like, cool, guess what? I'm still not useful. There's a door somewhere here. It's going to be bright. And you're like, what? And I'm like, the place you're going is going to be bright. Like,
And
that's all I can tell you.
And with this PDA, and if we're just being stupid and I'm just missing something, let us know. You can call me stupid. That's fine. Correct.
Did we leave the wrong way?
Was there other doors?
I think there's another, at least one entrance in there.
Interesting.
But even if there is more than one door, my problem is southeast doesn't change. Whether you go out the north door, the south door, the east door, southwest, or southeast will always be
Southeast.
freaking southeast.
Yep. Regardless, we found it.
And now you're in the lava lake. Talk to me about the lava lake here, because for me, you insta-panicked. Yep, you had some warper activity down there. We see another sea dragon, and it's lava. I know at one point you fell in it, and I had to tell you that your suit was taking hella damage. You fell in some lava, and you thought you were safe.
I am what you seek. Want to help you.
And then you actually stepped in it, and we watched your prawn suit drain pretty quick.
Yeah.
So being in the lava lake, talk to me about being down here, the deepest depths of Subnautica.
It's hot. No. Yeah, so being in the lava lake, obviously the first thing that caught my attention was the giant cubes with, it looked like tentacles. So I instantly thought this was a robotic, like, watcher type thing. Like, for some reason they're gonna have, like...
Oh, you were waiting for, like, a sentry mech.
Yeah, dude. So that was the first thing that caught my eye. I was like, what are these? And then he was like, yeah, I don't know, nothing. I was like, okay. I mean, going through this, I'm trying to Spider-Man my way through all of this. Gripping onto the things that I think are thought were sentry guns. For some reason, again, Always on edge. Always think that things are out to get me.
Like if you were to mix this game with something like Metroid,
It would be.
yeah, those totally would have been. Like in any other game, you're probably right. At the very least, those are like enemy pill buildings where like it's just a bunker for them to shoot you from. You play too much Doom.
Yeah, right. No, but then we finally get to the entrance, and I'm pretty sure I like back up and be like, ha, "Safety, bitch! Can't touch me." But yeah, so now we're here, and a giant locked gate with a key. The key being the blue tablet.
So yeah, you get here and we look around. One of the first things you get to do is mine with the prawn suit with Hector. You get to drill for some ion cubes.
Yeah. Well, I can't deny. We need to talk about that beautiful entrance. You walk up that huge ramp, the lights are going on, one after another. It's just the little details, man.
Which is funny because when we were playing it, when you were doing it for the first time, I remember you getting to the top of it and immediately going, so unnecessary. You turned around and looked at it again. I assumed that meant you didn't like it. Here it is. You're like, it's so unnecessary. Love it.
It's like, it's just bougie for something that's never seen by people. Well, to be
That's
fair,
awesome.
like this facility like got brought down here, right?
No, it was built here.
That's so stupid.
It's using all of the energy from it's picking up from the thermos around it to make the ion cubes. That's what this building does, along with the other thing we'll get to.
But yeah, drilling the repeating ion cubes. I drilled it, and I think you told me that it generates it here. I'm just like, okay, that's cool.
As soon as you finish drilling it, it boom lit up, and there was the giant green thing, and you were like, "Whoa, what is it doing?" Like, "Oh, it's regenerating the ion cubes." Like, I was casual about it. You're like, "What?" So, with your ion cubes, you get to go scan a few other things around here, artifacts. We realized that these precursor aliens have come into contact with humans before, because there's a Earth artifact there. A few other things as well. You also find multiple of the teleportation gates.
Yes.
And this is where we have to have a very serious conversation.
Is this the sad conversation?
This is the sad conversation. For those of you who were intimately loving Hector, we have some bad news for you. So while Phumpy was exploring some of these teleporter gates, after going through one of them, we come back. Phumpy, what happened to Hector?
I thought, because you step away from Hector and he kind of like just crouches down, being all cute and stuff. I thought since we went further away, we went through teleporter, we went all the way to I think the Lost River through the teleporter, and we come back, and I thought since we just went further away, he curled up in a little like disc. Oh boy, were we wrong. I was like, oh look at he's so cute. Oh, he's glitched. He's glitched in the floor.
And I didn't think too much of this either, because I've had this sort of happen to me before, and 9 out of 10 times, like, you get in him, and he, like, boom, stands up and you're back to level, and, like, the game corrects itself. Cool, whatever. I've also had a couple times where, like, oh, it's moving real weird and slow, and, like, I'll grapple arm onto something, and it's like I pulled myself out of quicksand. So I still didn't think there was a whole lot wrong here either.
I get in it while it's like half glitching the floor, trying to jump, trying to drill, trying to grapple my way out of it, and it's just not letting me. I tried to leave Hector, and it was not letting me. So for some fucking reason, The first action I thought to do was save the fucking game. But man, was that so dumb of me in post. Jesus Christ. Yeah, so we saved the game. I feel like we spawned back in Hector. And then it was brought to my attention that there's an unstuck button. So we clicked.
Which is what I was hoping he would use before saving.
Which might have saved us.
Yeah, because in my mind, that would have then just moved. Like, I felt like with Hector still sticking somewhat out of the ground like that, and him being in it, I assumed it was just gonna, drop Hector 5 feet, 10 feet above the floor there, and just boop, Hector's there. Okay. What did it do instead once you reloaded?
So when we reloaded, we unstuck, and it brought us back to the bulb zone. And this is where we came across the Mesmer for the first time, by the way. And
you provoked the shit out of it.
I looked at it.
You tried so hard.
I stabbed it, and I looked at it. To be fair, I found out I was looking at his ass the entire time. But regardless, I stabbed it like 4 times. If you're getting stabbed, I'm pretty sure you're going to turn around and be like, oh, what the fuck? But, yeah, no, the first encounter of a Mesmer is something that we've been kind of looking forward to encountering. Poof.
Nothing.
Gone.
Didn't even care he was there.
I said, fuck it, we're done. We're going back through. And, yep, instead of what Swiss said, which is, oh, it'll just pop up 10 feet and drop and cool, you got it. Nope. It dropped 50 feet below the surface of the floor it was stuck in.
I think it's actually like 25 meters, which made me question if it wasn't just in the special area below that we were going to explore. So we still had some hope here. What we didn't have was a blue tablet. On the upside, we just found a way back to the Lost River, which means we can get back to your little base camp down there. So we do. We take it, we get down there, we make you a blue tablet, get some food, get some water, and we come on back. And if you want to know what happens next, you're going to have to catch us on the next episode. But we would like to take a minute to just reflect and thank Hector for everything he did, for being the best little drill arm guy he could be, all the monkey swings. Phumpy, would you like to say a few words for Hector?
Spoiler alert, we don't get him back. It's still hard because he was a cool little mech. He was my mech, and I let him down. I let him rot. Play the outro. I'm sad now.
I'm not gonna lie, that one got me a little bit. I'm like, oh. Poor Hector, we barely knew thee.
Honestly.
Like, you maybe, like, you know how, like, heavy equipment, like a forklift has its run hours?
Mm-hmm.
Like, Hector has to have less than, like, in a 30-hour playthrough, you have probably less than 3 hours using Hector. And gone.
Yep.